Hi guys, let's discuss edit text floating hint in this session. Now what is edit text floating hint? Edit text floating hint is nothing but a hint which keeps on floating so that it helps the user to know what exactly he or she is supposed to put in. Uh, but the only thing is that it also has some added functionalities in it which we will see in this demo. As you can see that the user has has clicked on the edit text full name, and he or she is now typing here. Let's say the user types Steve, right? And then the user clicks on email, and the email edit text hint, it shifts upwards and becomes a small email in red, sorry, pink. And then the user again starts typing the email ID. But in case he or she forgets, the Steve forgets to type at the rate, the moment .com is written, there is this small notification which comes below the red line which says enter valid address, right? So this basically is the added functionality in this. It helps to make sure that the users, while typing their credentials, don't make such mistakes. So the moment I type at the rate, the notification goes off. In terms of password, when I, let's say password is 12345, right? As I'm typing the password, I can see that the last letter that is being typed is visible, right? But what if before clicking on login, I want to, or sign up, I want to uh, check what exactly have is the password that I've put in. I just want to make sure that is this what I really thought of as a password before typing it. I can click on this I icon at the rightmost end of password edit text. If I click there, the password gets visible, right? So this is what floating hint edit text is all about. Now let us see how can we make this possible through Android Studio. As you can see, when I clicked on sign up, the toast message thank you came up. So obviously if you use it in your app, then you can take your user to the home screen or whatever screen that you are planning to have after the screen. But it's aesthetically and I would say it's a UX component that you should have in your app. The experience is better. What if there was no notification here? Then in that case, uh, Steve might have kept on wondering why is it giving an email address, I enter valid email address, right? A lot. See, what happens is that we are, as coders, we find it very obvious that we need to put an at the rate sign, but somebody who has just made an email ID some 2 weeks back for the first time, they might not really remember that they need to put a at the rate sign, right? So that's what it is. You put an at the rate here and now it's gone. So now if I click on sign up, thank you comes, right? So now let's move to Android Studio and see how to make this happen. All right. Yeah. So to work on this project, we will need a basic activity rather than an empty activity, because we need these widgets and layouts which are quite required here. So what I'll do is I will go and I created an basic activity, and now I will just remove the content main from here and floating action button because we don't require this. Content main is something wherein we will not be typing anything, so we can just delete it from our activity main layout and start working on this. Uh, First thing is I will create a linear layout here, and I will give an orientation as vertical. Also, we'll change wrap content to match parent because then it might get very strong. So this is match parent orientation is vertical, and here now we can also give some padding to left 20 dp, padding to right again 20 dp. 6TTP. Let's see how it looks. So as of now, there's nothing in it, so nothing is showing up. Let me create an edit text and see how does it look. Yeah, still better. But before this edit text, I will have to include a widget. Android dot support dot design dot widget dot text input edit text, no, text input layout. Yeah, and now I've got this widget. What I will do is I'll put this edit text inside this, and we need to define layout, height and width. So first I'll give it an ID, input score layout score name. This is for name edit text that we are doing. Wrap content. Yeah, so this is fine. Edit text, I have given the hint. I will write it properly. Enter full name. All right, the ID also has to be given. That will be input underscore name, and then the width will be match parent, because I have the entire screen for me, and height will be wrap content. Let's put single line to be equal to 2, and hint we have given. After this, let me just copy paste this, because I will be requiring this 2 more times. And make the relevant changes. Email, complete email. Here it will be password. This will be password only. All right, so this is done. Let us see how does it look. It is showing some exceptions. Let's bring it to API 23 and see what happens. The following classes could not be instantiated. View is in edit mode. Yeah, this is looking fine. Now what we will do is we will go to our main activity and make the required changes. So when we come to our main activity, we start, although toolbar is not really required, but because it's given below, let's not delete everything, and for the sake of symmetry, let's keep it. We will define edit texts. Text input layout. Input layout email. Input layout password. So here the declarations have been made. Now we will go and start defining these. Input layout name, text input layout, input layout email, text input layout, find view by id, r.id dot input layout email, and input layout password. So these three are done. Then we will start defining our edit texts. Input email, and then input password. Yeah, this is also done. Now only thing which is remaining is we need to define the button sign up. We'll put a set on click listener on this. No, before that we will first define the button. We'll have to see what is the name given there. Oh, there is no button that we have put in. So first we'll go and put the button there. button is also come here. Now we can use that. And here, because we have done that, now we can start defining the listeners. So what we'll do is we'll define this later, because first we have to tackle the other three edit texts which have come to picture now. What we'll do is we will use the edit texts and add text change listener to them. We will use the we will call the reference of my text watcher, which we will define later. Yeah, and same thing we will do to rest of the two. Yeah, now we will have to make my text watcher later. We will do that. Now the thing which is left is we need to clear, yes, we have to set the button, we have to set the button sign up with set on click listener. So here we are. Click has happened. Whenever the user clicks on login, we will be calling a method which we will call as attempt login. All right. So now things which are remaining for on our end is to work on the my text watcher and attempt login. We will resume this in our next part. So see you in the next part. Take care. Bye bye. So now we will work on attempt login in my text watcher. Here I will write, I will start defining I'll start defining attempt login. So these are methods that we are going to use later. We will introduce them later. As of now, I'm just going to use them. So basically, what I'll do is I'll be writing some three methods below, which will be called validate name. They will be validating the name, email ID, and password. If it is meeting the standards which it should meet, and if it is meeting the standards, then it will return a boolean value, which I will check here, right? So what is happening is I checked for name, and then I'll check for email, and here again I'll write return. And if none of these statements are true, then I will generate a toast. Thanks, which basically means that you have been logged in, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check out for all the possibilities that have these three methods: validate name, validate email, and validate password, accepted the inputs. If they have, then only then login has to be there. So what should have ideally happened was that I should have written an intent here and taken my user to the next in activity, probably a home screen. But because we just taking an example for this, so we will not do that. After that, I yeah. So now this is done. Now I need to now work on the three more methods that I've made here. So it's going to be a long program. Here I start defining my method: private boolean validate name. If input name dot get text to string dot trim. I'm also going to use trim here because sometimes users while typing their names tend to give extra spaces at the trailing end, which I don't want to consider, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use trim also so that I can trim out those extra spaces. Is empty in that case. So let's say a user does not put anything in the name edit text, then I can set an error here. Enter full name. We will use request focus so that the user comes to know that this is where the problem is. This should return false, and if the user has not left it empty, in that case input layout name, the error should be set as false. There should be no error set there. Yeah. We also need to define request focus, which we will do after we define the three methods: validate name, validate email, and password. We get the email ID and convert it into string and also trim it, and then we check if email is empty or it is not getting validated, in that case I will have to set the error. Again, I will request focus, which we will define later. We will return false because it has not been validated. And then in case this is not the case, then input email, layout email, set error enabled false, and finally return true. Yeah. Now we make validate password. Rem is empty. If all these conditions are met, then we call input layout password and set an error. We again request focus. And return false. Else we will call the input layout password, set an error false, because this condition has not been met, so we should not set an error. Alright, this is done. Now we still need to define a lot of methods. First we will define this method is valid email. And so here we will return after checking it and applying AND operators. We'll first check if it's empty or not. And we will also at the same time, both these conditions should be met, that it follows the pattern which emails generally have. So basically we will be calling a patterns class here. It's from the library, Android library, that we will be calling. It helps us to let us know if the, whatever email that has been given as an input, is it matching the the patterns or not. So if it is matching, in that case we will have a true, uh, and then the accordingly the return statement will take in action. All right. Now we define the request focus. Get window dot set soft input mode, and in this we call Windows Manager. Yeah. So now this makes sure that the on screen soft keyboard is always visible whenever the focus is made on that edit text. Okay, this needs to change, and then we just need to make a my text watcher class, which will be implementing an interface called as text watcher. There are three methods which need to be overridden here. So there are three cases here. First is before text changed. We will not do anything in this. The second one is after text changed, even there we will not do anything. We will only make changes in the after text changed. Basically what we are doing is, once somebody has changed the text in the edit text, only then we will make any judgments on whether the text that has been changed, the edit text that has been changed to whatever it is at that point in time, is it correct or not. right? So what we will do is here is public void after text changed, editable s. We will have switch case here, and we will try to figure out which is the uh, edit text that has been clicked. And if it's the first one, then we call validate name. Same thing we do for other edit text also. So these are the three cases. These are self-explanatory. What is happening is that as user is writing or typing in the edit text, we are calling these three methods to check if the right method has been called. Sorry, if the text that has been put in is right or not. And then that's about it. We don't need these methods. So we'll delete them, and we are good to go. Now let us just see if anything is left. Okay. We need to check if input name is giving an error which says my text watcher cannot be applied to this widget edit text. Let us find out what exactly is it saying. That error was coming because we have not default made any default constructor here. Yeah, now all errors are gone. Now we can safely run this and just check if everything is working out fine or not. One error that you will get if you run it like this only is that we forgot to delete the entire floating action button here, because we removed it from our layout, so we cannot put it here as well, right? So this is done. Now let's see. So I launched this app on my mobile device, and let's see how it works. uh, I'm just going to write, yeah. So the moment I stopped typing, the third method got called. The third method was for text watcher. If you remember, you can go and check on the code also. The interface that we had implemented, my text watcher implements text watcher. The third method gets called after text changed, and it figures out that the email is being typed, and it validates the email, and this email does not go as per the pattern given by Android library, and that's why it gives enter valid email error, right? After this I put at the rate sign, and then if I type anything plus g com, then it then there is no error shown, right? Then we will type password and login. Yeah, this is working, right? So basically what has happened is that we are during runtime we are trying to figure out what is it that user is typing, and as user keeps typing we keep sending it for validation, and that's how we maintain this edit text floating hint record. All right, so this was edit text floating hint, and now what we're going to do is in the next session we will try to look at threads now, because threads, if you have done a lot of Java, then I'm sure you know a lot of threads. So we are going to use some threads in our programs so as to make some cool apps. So see you in the next session. Take care. Bye bye.